Hello guys, so in this video we're going to see how good are the Blighted maps, and I'm gonna start saying as a disclaimer that I'm not a particularly fan of the Blighted maps. In fact, I didn't do Blighted maps for literally years, and yeah, I did try this time because I was a bit tired of the content that I was currently running, and I gotta say that I was quite surprised. I will start with some pros and cons bullet points. So for the pros, for example, we have that the gameplay is quite chill and it's borderline AFK if you want. Once you have your towers set up, you can basically stand in the pump until the encounter is finished. Then another one thing that's pretty good is that you don't need to change anything in your Atlas tree. Because all the nodes in the Atlas tree won't affect the Blighted maps. Then also the Blighted maps are quite easy, so since the towers are doing most of the job, you won't require a strong build for the encounter. Then another good thing is that the maps are highly available in bulk if you buy in TFT. We're going to see in this video how we are going to do that. And the loot explosions we get at the end of the maps are quite fantastic. So yeah, that's pretty good. And in the other hand, for the cons, is that we're going to get a lot of the loot from different types, and that will require more trades to with other players to be liquidated and get the raw currency, as we're going to see later on when we do the loot breakdown. Then the mechanic at the start can be a bit overwhelming, since all the mobs from the different portals are going to be spawning towards our pump at the same time, and that it can be a bit tiring at first, but once we catch up with the mechanic, we are going to see that it's pretty simple. It's a no-brainer. We won't be failing any map at all. So now let's talk about the strategy that we're going to apply in the Blighted maps. I'm going to do a quick sketch up of the towers. So we're going to go to the paint, and yeah, let's say that this is the pump that we have to protect, and the pump has some roots. That's where the mobs are going to come from, and at the end we're going to have, for example, this color. We're going to have the portals that are spawning the mobs in this direction, and we're going to have also some of the places that we can place the towers. So let's say something like this, and yeah, I have also prepared an image with all the tower types. And so one of the main things that we need to do first is that we will always place an empowering tower in the middle, so it affects all of your towers. So in this case, we're going to be placing an empowered tower in this location, and then in the front towards the minions, we want to be placing the defensive towers. Those are the shield towers and the stun towers. So all the mobs that are coming in this direction are going to be stunned, frozen, and the other mobs are going to be stunned by this tower. And in the backline, we want to have the Meteor Towers here. This is their fire towers in level 4. So all the mobs that are coming from the portals are going to be stunned, are going to be in this area, right? So the Meteor Towers are going to be sniping all of these mobs. Yeah, this is a pretty basic strategy, having in the backline the damage, the front line the defensive towers, and in the middle the empowered towers. And with this strategy, we're going to be able to do all of the Blighted maps with an effectiveness of 100%, This is an infallible strategy. So, and then if you have more credits or more blight points, we want to add more damaging towers after the defensive towers here and here, and more here. If you have some floating points, we won't like to be adding the defensive towers outside of this range, because we want for the damage tower to be able to reach those places, and we will be slowing down the mobs that comes from the portals, and that would be slowing the whole encounter itself. So always have some defensive options, and after that always add some damaging towers, and before that we have the backline with more damage protecting our pump here. Then one thing that is really important that I have to mention is that in Blight, this is how the game works basically, but I have this image, right? This is the minimap, and in Blight we have an area where the towers won't be rendered, so your game client won't be rendering some of the towers that you place, and therefore they won't be damaging the mobs at all. So you have to be really careful. For example, if you are far away from the pump, you're here for example, and your towers from this zone, the towers, let me try the colors. Yeah, you see with yellow. So the towers from this zone won't be functioning because you are far away, and that would make that the mobs that are from here are going to be freely to pass through these routes, and they're going to be attacking your pump. So really be careful to not be too far away from the pump, and also to always build around your pump. You want to have this whole setup in here, for example, here, and you will be in next to your pump, and you will replicate this setup in the other direction that mobs are also coming. And in some layouts you even have even more sides that the mobs are going to be walking toward your pump. So in each direction you're going to be replicating this setup. And then one other thing to mention is that when you press the tab, as you can see in this image, you're going to see these gray spots, and those are indicating the routes. But this is also an indicator that with the area that the towers are being rendered. So this is the final line. If I get closer here in the map, some of the other gray points are going to be appearing here, but they are not, because this is the max distance that the towers are being rendered. So if I have a fire tower here, that tower won't be shooting anyone because the tower is disabled. Once I get closer to this tower and these gray points are being rendered, then then we can know for sure that the tower is actually working. So this is a pretty good reference, because we want to be we will be sitting next to the pump and see what is the distance that we can build the towers based on the minimap that we have by pressing tab once we are in the map. So yeah, this is a pretty good tip to have a very understanding of our available area that we can build our towers. So I decided to run a quick test run with some of the Blighted maps. As you can see, we have a total here of 21 maps that are bought in bulk. I spent a total amount of 210 chaos for all of these maps, and that is a total amount of 10C per map. And these ones were from tier 13 to tier 16. I gotta say that most of them were 14, 15, and few of them were actually tier 16, and they are pretty good also, even if they are tiers 13. Then the anoint that I'm using is the triple crimson. This is the anoint for the maximum loot, and we are paying 2 chaos for each crimson, even in bulk. So we are spending a total of 60 per map. You can check in the wiki that there are other options that we can anoint the maps. For example, one of them is to make the towers less costly, so we can build more towers with the same amount of points. That is in the case that you are not confident enough and you're trying the strategy the first time and you want to go easy. I would highly recommend to just go with a triple crimson and try the strategy we already talked, and you see that the maps are quite easy to be completed. So based on these prices, we have a total amount of the investment. This is just the stuff that we have to buy, the maps and the crimson oils, three per map, and we have a total investment of 1.3 divines. And yeah, we're going to see later on in the loot breakdown how much we got from this total investment. Now I'm going to show you how we are going to be buying the bloody maps in bulk, since we don't want to buy them one by one in the trade, and this is the most efficient way to just get them quickly and at a very good price, I would say. So we have, this is the Forbidden Throat Discord. I would probably leave the link in the description, but you probably already have already joined this Discord. And we have the Sanctum softcore bulk willing to sell, wanting to sell a set of channels. And here we have the bulk mobs sell. And in this section, we are going to scroll down to the bottom, and we are going to use the search here in the top right, and we are going to click in the channel and press Ctrl F, and we're going to be searching in this channel alone, and we're going to type blight, for example. So this will highlight the blighted and blight maps. This is basically the offers that people selling maps are going to be posting here. So for example, if we check, let me see. Yeah, now if you check this first option, that this option was a couple of minutes ago here, and as you can see, this player is selling the blighted maps. He's selling for 3 divines, 60 maps in bulk, and they are not corrupted. They are all series 13-14, and yeah, we can, for example, contact this player and buy them all in a single trade, 60 blighted maps, and that's already a lot for us to do. I would say that this is a pretty bad deal, because 3 divines and only 13-14 is not a good option. I got in the past 60 bulk of maps from 13 to 16 for 2 divines, so this is kind of expensive. Then we have another offer here for basically the same, but from 13 to 16, and we have three divines per 16 60 maps. We have 108 maps for 40 divines and a half. This is the same offer. This is ravaged maps, and yes, you can see we have a lot of offers here. People are seems to be actually buying the 60 per 3 divines. We have here, for example, another offer for 2.5 divines. This is actually way better than the ones that was selling only 13 to 14 for 3 divines. This is 2.5 divines, and from 13 to 16. Tiers 13 are actually pretty okay, so don't be bothered by that. And yeah, 2.5 is pretty good. If you can actually fire 2 divines, that will be way better. And yeah, I actually got mine for 2 divines So as far as I can see now, that's a pretty good price. But yeah, this is the way that we buy the maps in bulk. We just contact this player in game and tell them that we want to buy the Blighted maps, and we pay what the player is asking for, and they will trade back all the Blighted maps. Next, I'm going to show you how we are rolling the Blighted maps. And so for example, I have here a tier 14 Blighted map. And the first thing that we want to do is to use some chisels, since the quant of the map will affect the chest that we get at the end of the encounter. So we're going to add, just like any other map, 4 chisels first, and then we're going to be adding an alchemy to make the map rare. We're going to check, we want to check that any of the mods that we got won't break or build, just like any other map. And also we want to be sure that we don't get the one specific mod, that is that the mobs cannot be stunned, and because since we are using the stun tower, mobs going to be stunned, that would actually make those towers useless. So the next step is to add some catalyst in Acacia. So we are going to search from crimsons, and I don't know if I have some of them right now. Yes, I do have. So we're going to talk to Acacia, and we're going to place the map here, and 3 crimsons, triple crimsons, and as you can see, we will have for each crimson 12 blight chests are going to be lucky. This means that the loot is going to be improved, and we also will have a 6% increased pack size, and this will affect the amount of points in the encounter that you will get. And also at the end of the encounter, the loot that is dropped next to the pump, you will get a lot more, and that increases the chances of getting good stuff. So yeah, we're getting 3 of these, and we are knowing the map. As you can see, there is now a new mod in white at the top, saying that 36 bloody chests are lucky now. And finally, we are adding 4 of these sacrifice. I actually run out of the midnight. You can basically self-sustain this. Here we have the midnight. You're actually going to be able to self-sustain this, and we are going to place the map alongside these fragments that give more quantity. And we can select any option, so we have to select the 8 increase quantity. And yeah, we're going to run the map this way. So now that we have the map rolled, we are going to start a full showcase of a single map, and I'm going to show you how we are going to be applying the strategy that we talked earlier. So we activate. I'm going to leave this currency here, and yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing that I do is to activate the encounter. I'm going to place the portal far off, and we're going to insta click the start blight encounter here that we had. So the encounter starts right away, and we won't have to wait. So I never place the towers early on. I wait for the routes to be more settled in the first minute. But in this case, we have a very good and clear position from towers near to the pump. And yeah, as we talked earlier, we want the empowering in the middle, the freezing, the defensive towers, that is the freeze one and the stun one, pointing to the minions, and in the back line we want the damage towers. I always start with the Meteor Towers, because those are the ones that do basically all the job. I like to clear the mobs so I have the points, as you can see here earlier, but you don't have to. You can actually wait here and that's fine. Just want to end this faster, just a bit faster. It's not that much faster. So in the top side, as you can see here, we can get also mobs from this direction. We don't have a clear path of these of the towers. As you can see, as you saw, we only had one position to build the towers, so we don't want to commit in a place when we could only just build one tower. So we will have to wait, and now as you can see, we got another route, another way that the mobs can come from. So we have extra placements for the towers. So now we want to build the position. So as always, the empowering in the middle, the stun and the chill here, a Meteor Tower in the back. We also have to improve the tower here. We want to improve the empower to max 3. We don't want to take any of these options. We want to improve the chill tower also to 3 and the stun tower also to 3. We don't need the last step for these towers. As you can see, the tower with the power, the stun tower within the power is already just perma-stunning the mobs, and the freeze tower is going to be freezing all the mobs coming from this way. So then now, as you can see, we have another direction. Some maps have multiple directions, some others layouts only have 2 directions where the mobs can come from. So we have to build in the top 2 something at least. So we're going to build here on a mirror tower, and we're going to be building, for example, some chilling towers in the top. So one thing extra that I want to talk meanwhile I build some towers is that we have to take a look at the monster type. As you can see here, we have all the portals in the UI, and we have the types here. So one thing that we have to take care of is the fire towers. As you can see, we have in this map we have one fire tower. That means that all of the damaging towers won't be affecting those mobs, and they can basically pass freely. Not quite, not really. They will be also damaged by the fire tower, but they will be stunned. But still not quite dangerous or annoying, I would say. So we want to look up to where is the fire tower. As you can see, the fire tower is here. We won't be, oops, we almost died there. We won't be too far away. We want to improve the towers to level 3. Some extra chilling here and here. As you can see, since the fire tower is here, we can build for this direction some lighting towers that will be damaging those mobs, and that will do the job. Basically, they will get too damaged before they get here. And yeah, and at this point we can actually just go AFK. But I like to kill the mobs since I want to finish the encounter faster and to start the next one. But as you can see, the timer already has finished, but some mobs are still alive, so that's why it's not actually finished. And you have to take care of it, because if this message is saying that the fungal was successfully defended doesn't appear, then you can actually lose if some of the mobs remaining gets to your pump. So now the encounter is officially finished, and we only have to loot and get the good stuff that we hardly earned, get W. And yeah, so let's try to loot everything. I actually tend to loot before the timer ends, because some of the chest already appears once the portal finished spawning mobs. But yeah, for this showcase, I'm trying to do the stuff step by step. Once you get experience doing these maps, you will start looting way before that. So the chests with currency are pretty good. The chests with cards, I think that they are the best. as you can see, a lot of stack decks. Each one of these stack decks is, let me check, 2.5 chaos. I'm pretty sure they can sell for more if you sell them in bulk. So this is already 13 chaos, and we spend in the map around 15 chaos. So this is already covering and doubling the whole investment for this map. So more currency. The blight chests, I always take them, since we can get the golden oil, the opalescent gold, the opalescent oil, and the silver oil, and we also can get the ravaged maps. The chest ones, the weapon ones, and the jewelry ones, I never pick them unless I'm really close to them. They can only drop synthesized items and fracture items, but they rarely drop one. So most of the time they just drop anything at all. So I don't tend to battle with them. If I have some missing weapon and jewelry stuff here, I just get out of the map and start a new one. And yeah, then we have more currency ones. Weapons, I just ignore them. As you can see, we have a lot of stuff here, right? A lot of stuff. I'm surprised that we only get just the stuff that we got. But yeah, this is brute trash. But as you can see, the magnitude of the stuff that we get by killing all the blight mobs while having a 100 quantity affecting the map. And yeah, I would ignore these two, but let's just open them. Then, as you can see, we have a chest one that drops some of random stuff. This is not really available, but I always open them. And we have a weapon one missing here. See, we got some currency, that's pretty okay. And we got a weapon here that we'll ignore. As you can see, as I said, the weapon, the armor one, and the jewelry ones are kind of trash and garbage. So next. And yeah, we are just done here. We finished the map, and that's it. This is all the stuff that we got. The 10 cards, the stacked decks that we got earlier on, some chaos, some of the bubblegum currency. We got some crimsons for another map, a valor, and yeah, and a bunch of stuff. Some maps that you can sell for 3C each, and some cards that I think that are pretty bad. This is 2 chaos. This is 3 chaos. Oh, because we can just rename this, right? Yeah. So yeah, this is the end of the showcase. As you can see, the maps are pretty easy and they are pretty chill. You just have to build the towers next to the pump using the strategy that we talked earlier on in the video, and you're going to be perfectly fine. So now it's time to see all the stuff that we got from those 21 maps. And as you can see, we have a total value of around approximately 13.5 divines. And as you might have remembered, we did invest in these maps a total amount of 1.5 divines. So that's close to 10 times our investment. And yeah, that's amazing, right? So let's analyze a little bit the whole stuff that we have here. So I got 5 divines, and disclaimer, I'm pretty sure that this is not common. So I got one from an incubator, so we can just take that out. And we got 4 raw divines in 21 maps, and that's crazy, right? I'm pretty sure that if I do 21 more maps, I won't get that much of divines. That'd be crazy. And yeah, then the stacked decks, we got over 200 stacked decks. This is over 2 divines alone without selling them in bulk. So I'm pretty sure that you can actually sell them to push them to 3 chaos each, or even 3.5 if the amount is high. Then we have a lot of the golden oils that come from the blight chest. As you can see, we got 4 of them, and each one is at a price around of 50 chaos. Then we have some silver and opalescent oils that also sells pretty good. This is a bit tricky. We don't want to sell much oils because people actually most of the times are buying them one by one. So you will have to do around 20 trades here. So that's where we're going to stop. You can even cut the opalescent and turn it to turn them into a 1 silver oil, since we have the vendor recipe that we can convert three of a minor oil to one of the next tier, then that is the silver. So we can convert 3 opalescents into 1 silver. We'll be using some chaos, 5 chaos, but we will be doing 2 less trades, so 66 less trades, but to sell the opalescent ones. And yeah, instead of 9 trades, we will be doing just 3. Next are the crimson's oils. Those are we aren't going to sell them. We're going to be reusing them for our next bloody maps, so we won't be concerned by selling them. Then the black oils are the ones that we are going to be also transforming using the vendor recipe to turn them into crimsons. And then we have some bubblegum currency, we have some balls, some scourings, the violet oil. I'm not sure why they are showing, but yeah, I had picked a lot of them. Then some are for making, and I have the rest of the first page here captured. And as you can see, we got more of the bubblegum currency, some fusings, some of the most valuable fossils. We did got a lot of fossils that I did sell in bulk. An ancient orb here, and some more stuff, some of the cards, the imperial slugs, and we won't be selling them by 1 chaos each. This is bullshit. We will have to convert them in Lily. And yeah, one thing that I want to mention is that in the first page of the loot we have a total amount of 2,500, almost 600 chaos. So in the first page we got almost more than 10 divines already, and the full value of the whole tab is at around 13 and a half divines. So in the first page, this is a pretty good sign, because we only need to sell the first page to actually get most of the value of the full tab. So that's a pretty good sign, I would say, for this strategy, even though we will have to sell the bubblegum currency, some fossils, and yes, and the oils and the star decks to have all these the value from the stuff that we got. And also I have to mention that we got some special drops. For example, we got an empower gem that sold for 180 chaos. We got 7 ravaged blighted maps that in total it was 84C. The excellence won't take them into account. The excellence just price them as a normal map. And what else? Yeah, we got an enhanced for 50C chaos. This is the green gem that improves the quality of the supported gems. And I also got a conquer map from the map chests. So I summed up everything, counting from the stuff that we can sell. I didn't include the 13 divines, and I also took into account the exceptional drops, right? And yeah, these are the results. I took the time for the maps, and they are run in between 7 minutes to 7 minutes and a half, and that's around 2.6 ish hours to run the Turing 1 maps. So I did consider around 11 divines that I'm pretty sure that we can easily liquidate. We probably could get more than this if we trade more. But I think that 11 divines is a pretty fair amount. I consider to the exceptional drops that I just mentioned here, and empower the ravaged maps, enhancing the conqueror map. I'm pretty sure that this is a low value of the conqueror maps. We should be getting more, and also from the shaper ones and such. So these exceptional drops were a total of 1.4 basically divines. So we have a total of revenue of 12 divines and a half, and we did invest, as you may remember, we did see in the start of the video that we spent 1.3 divines. So we have a total profit of 11.2 divines, and yeah, and considering that this whole thing should take you around over 2 hours and a half, this is around 4.3 divines per hour. And yeah, that's, in my opinion, that's pretty good, because the gameplay is pretty chill, like we already mentioned. You can basically AFK for most of the part of the map, and you can watch our stuff, and that's pretty relaxing and quite different type of content that you can run in POE. And also I have to mention a disclaimer that we did get lucky with some of the divines. We should probably reduce I don't know, 2 or 3 divines from this total amount, and that would drive the profit per down a little bit to I don't know, 3.5 divines per hour, but that's still pretty good anyways. So in the end, I got pretty good returns based on the investment that we initially did, and to be honest, I kind of like the gameplay of the blighted maps. So from this point, I decided to buy more blighted maps because I wanted to get more currency. So I decided to buy a new bulk, and this time I bought 60 maps in total, and I paid 2 divines. So if you made the math, that's around 8C per map. This is per game. This is very cheap. So for reference, I will show you the loot that I have accumulated doing these maps, and I also have it merged with its first 21 blighted maps. So these are the tabs that I have for the blights. I'm going to drop the stuff that we got from the showcase run, and this is the full tab with a lot of stuff. As you can see, for example, the stacked decks are all over the place. We have a lot of chaos orbs, we have the divines, we have the exalts, 3 of wands, the annulments, 6 of them. We got a lot of cards. I'm pretty sure that, oh, this is the serum card. We got a lot of the cards. I'm pretty sure that aren't that valuable. A bunch of currency, a bunch of scarabs. I did have a lot of fossils, but I did sell them to in bulk recently. Fossils, I have them here, and a lot of maps that can be sold. The random maps can be sold by 2 and 3 chaos. The vault temple maps that can be sold around 10C to 15C. So if I price all the stuff that I got just by doing blights, we have a total value of almost 28 divines. Well, more than 28 divines now. And this is the last map that we did in the showcase. That was around 0.3 divines, very good. And yeah, and that's a lot of currency. And I have to remember you that the content is basically made AFK. So yeah, we have the same loot but with more stuff. You just have to roll the maps just like we saw how, and do the content, and I found that very enjoying. So yeah, and that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have learned something for the blighted maps, and I encourage you to try this strategy that is pretty good right now. And yeah, see you guys.